Hi everyone, I am a Brazilian actress living in London and somehow I ended up acting in movies from the south to the north of India. I've worked in Hindu, Punjabi, Bengali, Bhojpuri and South Indian movies. I've been a dancer, a waitress, the girlfriend, the person that ruined someone's relationship, an MI6 agent. Literally so many versatile roles. And today I'm gonna tell you how a Gori actually ended up doing Bollywood films and what is like behind the scenes, the good, the bad, the very long hours, and the time that I accidentally sat on the director's chair and made everybody on the set gasp. And before the comments come for me saying Bollywood is just Mumbai films, I know that technically there are different names for south of India being called Tollywood, Bengali cinema and so on, but otherwise I'm gonna spend half of this video explaining the terminology. So for the sake of this video, when I say Bollywood, I am talking about my experience in working in Indian cinema, okay? So please don't cancel me. First thing that really surprised me was the hierarchy. I mean, all the Indian sets I've worked on, the director is basically the king, and then everybody else falls underneath that. So I've learned through this embarrassment that basically, apparently, if the director chose a chair on that day, that is the director's chair, and nobody else sits there. But me not knowing that, when I went to rewatch the footage, I sat on the chair that the director was sat on, and everybody gasped like, what is she doing? I mean, I didn't know. Okay, so yeah, I just took the chair that was empty at the time. But that was a little bit embarrassing because I felt like I disrespected the culture. But no, I super get it. Another thing that I think is so cute in Bollywood films is the tradition of asking the gods to bless the set before you even start shooting through offerings and so on. I think that's so sweet. So you might be wondering, what movies have I actually done? My first experience were smaller roles. There was a film called Or Ke Banham, a Bhojpuri production as a dancer. That was my first experience in Bollywood. And then there was a film called Asami Yashimi, where I played a waitress. And then somehow we went from waitress to being an MI6 agent in a film called Empurance, which apparently was a big budget South Indian production.
Sergei Leonov, ex-handler in the Qureshi-Abraham nexus, suspected defector, believed to be now working for the Kabuga cartel.
Then I worked on Anidi Mezai, a Bad Pamesgil production where I played a neighbor, but that has not been released yet. And then there was another Punjabi movie directed by Virjarat Rathan. Oh gosh, I'm so bad with these names. And then I also got some bigger roles in Bengali movies. Those were really fun because I was with the production for like 2 weeks. So I did a movie called Oporicho, where I played a detective.
Hi, excuse me. I'd like to see Mr. Ranjan Ghoshal, if you can help me.
Yeah, sure. I'll just call him.
Ron, I'm so sorry. Ki hoyeche tomar? Ki kore holo tomar accident ta?
And one called Tobu Lobash, where I played the best friend of the main actress.
Hey baby, আমি তো ছোটবেলা থেকেই জানতাম তোমরা বুঝতে পারছো না। জিজ্ঞেস করো না।
I can explain.
What's going on?
Actually,
Oh my god, Aditi, are you proposing to me in your traditional Indian way? Oh my god, it says P for Paris. I love you so much. Oh my god, yes! Yes, please, yes!
And those were so much fun. In Tobu Balapash, I played Paris, and I got to hang out with the Batama a lot, which was so much fun. And those are both SK movies, which apparently is a big Calcutta production. I really enjoyed working on these because, as I said, I was there for 2 weeks, so I actually had a chance to develop my character and get along with the actors and the director and really immerse myself in those Bollywood film sets, and I loved that. But the one thing that drove me absolutely crazy was when the film came out and I realized that they dubbed my voice. My voice. They dubbed my voice. I mean, on some Indian productions, you will record the scene using the clip on mic, and then the dialogue will still be dubbed later in the studio. And if you're not able to get yourself into the studio in India, someone else will probably dub your voice, which happened to me, and it was really heartbreaking. So imagine watching yourself on the screen on the big day, your face, your acting, your expressions, but someone else says, "Voice! Who is that woman?" So that was super strange, very different from Hollywood, and professionally very frustrating too, because I wanted to use those scenes for my portfolio, but suddenly it's my performance and somebody else's voice. Can somebody else explain why does that happen? Next difference, Indian food. The first time I tried Indian food was actually on a Bollywood set. I remember sitting there with my plate, taking one bite and thinking, why is my mouth on fire? Back then, my spice tolerance was basically salt. And now look at me, dating an Indian, eating spicy food, drinking chai. Maybe Bollywood started all of this. Then there was the music videos. I've been lead model, actress in quite a few Indian music videos. And a lot of them were Punjabi. I've worked on videos connected with artists including Parish Wanginger, Sunhill Dole, Yes Peak, Keep It Real. My experience with music videos were actually quite different because I was actually the lead female, so I was treated really nicely. The shoots were fun, you've got the outfits, the music, sometimes dancing, and I generally had some really good time. Looking back, it's actually crazy how much of my acting and modeling career was accidentally crossed over with Indian entertainment. So what's the truth about working in Bollywood? This hierarchy also exists within talent. You've got the main cast, who are like the princes and the princess, and then the secondary cast, the dancers and the extras. And I've experienced all levels of them because I have worked in every single role. I've been a dancer, secondary cast, main cast, and so on. And honestly, it was very shocking to see how the dancers are treated in Bollywood, because many times I felt like we were treated really, really bad. And I mean, we are working very long hours, doing this time after time for sometimes very little money. And from my experience, the dancers weren't given the respect that they deserve, which is quite different on Hollywood productions where dancers are treated like a talent, and I wonder why that is. I've been told that so many times people in India do become dancers on the set even for free, just for the experience of being on the set. So I wonder if that's why they are seen as less than the talent. Another thing about Bollywood sets is the hours. I mean, 12 to 14 hour shoots. And in UK sets, Hollywood sets, the hours are also long, like 11 hours on set. But there has been more than once in Hollywood where I was on a set for 14 hours. And a lot of times with just one meal. So yeah, it's very hard work. Next time you watch a Bollywood film or any film, do you recognize the effort that goes behind that? Now let's talk about the money. This is probably one of the biggest differences I noticed, the pay. When I've worked on bigger UK or American productions, even as supporting artists, they can pay reasonably well for a day's work. But on some of the Indian productions I've worked with, I was getting paid as a secondary cast was roughly what I was making as a supporting artist on a Western production. So, and sometimes I would hear, oh, this is a big budget Indian film, and I would be thinking, big budget for who? Because we're still getting paid minimum wage here. So yeah, I guess that was a little bit frustrating, you know, like they make up such a big thing, like this is such a huge cast in India, and then you'd still be fighting to be even getting paid a minimum wage. So yeah, Indian productions do tend to pay less than I've been paid on Hollywood and UK productions. Difference is that how sometimes in Bollywood it felt like theatre, because you got to improvise on the day. I mean, lots of last minute changes and decisions, okay? There were times where I was cast for a role the day before, and that's quite common in Bollywood. Then I would be sent like the role description, and I would get on set and they would just say like, oh, this is what's happening in the scene, this is your character, this is what we need, and then basically go. And I was like, where's the script? And sometimes in the script it would be saying like the scene in their own language, and they would just like sort of translate it to me and just be like, okay, just like along these lines, just improvise the scene. Which was quite shocking. I mean, very different from Hollywood, because in Hollywood they're so attached to each word in the script, you know, and I got to improvise in my own words, which I guess is good because the acting can come more authentic. But that relaxed, improvised feeling was quite shocking. I have so many flashbacks of the production being so chaotic and everyone wanting to give an opinion. Like if something goes out of plan, everybody, the cameraman, the lighting, everyone wants to give an opinion. And obviously for someone who doesn't understand the language, it just sounds like and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And then I see them improvise in some sort of stand to hold the light. So it was very funny. And the only word I would always get is cello cello, like let's go. So what's the truth about working in Bollywood? Honestly, my experience has been sometimes messy, sometimes unorganized, sometimes underpaid, sometimes when you're on set for 14 hours wondering when you're going home, and sometimes nobody gives you the script and you just have to improvise your lines, and sometimes somebody fully replaces your voice. But I've met some incredible people, because a lot of those movies were filmed in the UK, where I got to work with local talent, and some of those people I'm still friends until today. I got to play a variety of characters that I probably wouldn't otherwise, and I got to introduce to completely different language, music, food, ways of filmmaking, dancing, and somehow a Brazilian girl who moved to London became an actress that ended up appearing in Bengali, Punjabi, Bhojpuri, and South Indian movies. And I think that's pretty cool. Would I do another one? Yes, but please, for goodness sake, let me dub my own voice next time, okay? If you guys want a part 2, I can tell you some of the crazy stories that actually happened on set. So yeah, do let me know in the comments. And if you've also worked on Bollywood, let me know. Has some of your experiences been the same? Do you have some answers to some of the questions? And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.